I should probably put some pants on. Beep, beep, beep. Adam is reversing. Oh. Well, now I've got no potatoes. Oh, look at that. Look at that, perfectly sliced with a plastic fork. No, that's a knife. Oh, and they also have chairs that are like butts. Wilson? Uh-oh. He's a squirter. Well, here we go, the official first startup of the new ski. Haha, we're floating! Look at that! So if you saw my episode last week, I've built what I'm considering to be one of the ultimate adventure skis ever made. Maybe the best one. You'd let me know in the comments what you think. But I haven't ridden it yet. And the thing is with these Sea-Doos is that you have to run them for 10 hours to break in the engine before you get full power and all the rest of it. And it's kind of a boring process because it means that you can't go wide open throttle, you know, there's just, it's restrictive riding. So nobody likes that first 10-hour break-in, and I figured, why not try and do it all in one go? So as of right now, it is 25 past 10 on Wednesday, and I'm committed to you that I will not come out of this water, well, out of the launch ramp, until my ski has hit 10 hours. So on here, I've got all of my camping gear with me. I've got food that should last me for a couple of days, and we are ready to go and send it and basically spend the next 10 riding hours out here on Lake Havasu and further up the Colorado River. Now this week it was absolutely glorious weather in the beginning, and today it just took a shit, and tomorrow we've got rain. So yeah, not ideal situations, but you know what they say, no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So I am all wrapped up. The idea today is ride as much as we possibly can. So join me on this adventure with my new Sea-Doo Explorer Pro that I'll talk to you if you haven't seen the video about all the gizmos and gadgets that I've got on here. But yeah, it's pretty sick. And yes, that is Starlink internet. And yes, that will last for 16 hours without power from the ski, but the ski does power it as well. Okay, well, I guess there's nothing left to it but to do it. Come on, you can do it. Ooh, it's like a bloody corset. You eager-eyed viewers will probably notice I'm missing a radio. Well, that's because I've got one hard mounted to the ski now. I no longer need to carry a handheld VHF. I do still have my PLB, which out here, not needed as much, but on the ocean, it's definitely good to have. And then my trusty knife for knifey jobs. Alrighty then, we're gonna turn on our ambers, which are these spotlights right here. We're going to turn on our running lights, which are the white lights all the way in the front, and we're going to turn on our zombie mode, which is power to the Starlink, so that will be charged as we're riding. We are back, and we are going to get soaked today. Lovely. Well, I guess this is what you get for not riding a Sea-Doo for a while. The water gods make you pay for it. Ugh. It's cold, it's like 53 degrees. The water temperature is 54 degrees. Where are my sunglasses? Not that I need them for the sun, but... Okay, there we go. Oh, man, oh my goodness. Okay, let's get this nose up. Woo! We're back! We are back! Oh my god, it's so cold! So we're about 15-20 minutes in, and I'm noticing that it's porpoising really badly. And now obviously I do have a lot of weight on the back here, but I also do have a lot of weight up front. So it shouldn't be doing it this bad. I think that the way that we have the sponsons set up is incorrect for the way that this thing is loaded up. So what I'm gonna do is call in a favor from my buddy Joey Anderson. I'm gonna hope he's home, and then once we get to Needles, we're gonna see if we can't adjust it. It's just Allen screws, so it shouldn't be difficult to do. But just adjust those sponsons, because what I think is happening is it's lifting the boat up out of the water, and then as it's doing that, it's then getting air, unloading the sponsons, the boat's landing. You can see it doing it right now. So it's just doing this perpetual bounce. And that's the thing when you build something like this, is you don't know how things are going to turn out. If this thing had just handled flawlessly from the get-go, I would have been so shocked. So as much as it's annoying bouncing up and down, that's the nature of the beast. You build something as kind of crazy and custom as this, you have to iron out the kinks. So let me call Joey, see if he's around, see if we can't get this fixed.
Yo!
Hey buddy, how's it going?
Good, man, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm actually calling to see if you can save my life, kind of. We've got these sponsons on it, and they're set wrong, so it's porpoising like a motherfucker, and I literally can't get above 35 miles an hour. So I needed somebody with tools who could meet me somewhere so that we can adjust them.
Yeah, I mean, I can meet you as soon as I get back.
If you could, that would be awesome. Sounds good, dude. Thanks so much. Really appreciate you. Excellent. Joey can help. So I've just texted Carl from Works Racing. They're the guys that make the sponsons. And he reckons that, yeah, we just need to set them lower because right now it's popping the boat up out of the water too much. We want to get it so that it just rides like a dream. All right, let's porpoise our way up the river and see if we can't get this fixed. Because if not, this is going to be a miserable 10 hours of riding. Look, everything's good. Watch. And now we porpoise. So what I found is that if I just keep carving, then it keeps the water on that sponson and stops it from porpoising. So I'm getting dizzy, but at least I'm not getting whiplash. Now, one of the other things that I'm noticing is that it definitely feels underpowered, and I'm not sure if that's just because we're in this break-in phase, so it doesn't give you full throttle yet. And obviously with all the extra weight and stuff, that's what I'm noticing. Or I'm not sure if it's that intake grate that I've got on here that has more bars to stop intrusion, stop things from getting in there, but it also is going to restrict your water flow as well. In terms of how it's riding, I mean, it rides great. The collar around the side is awesome. Definitely reduces the splash. I've been riding into the wind the whole time. I've done some carving and it doesn't seem to have massively hindered the handling. Hindered the hand, that's hard to say. But you can definitely feel like as you bank it over, you feel it start to lean on this collar rather than tip all the way over how it used to. But again, this ski is not made for that. As long as I can get around turns, as long as the low speed maneuverability is good for when I'm in little coves and stuff, I'm not bothered about being able to whip around a racetrack. That's not what I've built it for. So in terms of that side of the handling, that's a trade-off that is absolutely fine by me. The Starlink is working flawlessly. I'm in the gorge now where there is no mobile phone signal, and I have full ponies on the phone, as in full bars of Wi-Fi, and it is looking straight up to the heavens to Elon's satellite. Everything's still on the back where it should be. I am a very happy camper. So we're going to do a quick splash and dash at Topok if their fuel dock is open. Goal is to get up to Laughlin today. So I have some fuel with me. I've got probably 5 gallons in there, plus there's 20 gallons or 19 gallons in the ski, which should be plenty to get me there and back, or at least back to here so I can do a splash and dash. This place in the summer is absolutely mental. They've got a pool up there that I'm pretty sure in the summer is like 95% pee. I've never been in it, and I don't think I ever will, but it's a good time. Beers, sunshine, boats, it's awesome. If you ever come out to Colorado, make sure you come check it out. Oh, and they also have chairs that are like butts. See? Butt chairs.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Can I put some fuel on the dock, please? How much is it a gallon right now?
$7.
Let's do $40, please.
40?
Yeah. Thank you very much. $7 a gallon. Better than Pirate. I think Pirate Cove is like $9 a gallon. Now a little trick when you're filling up these, I don't know about all of them, but certainly the Explorers, I imagine the Fish Pros and GTXs, you can actually get more fuel in it than you think. So brim it and then let it settle, and then you can actually rock it and you'll burp it and you'll see the fuel will like come up and then it'll burp, go back down, and you'll be able to get another quarter or half a gallon in it. So if you are really trying to stretch it and get as far as you can, make sure that you burp it, and that way you know you're getting a full tank full. All right, call it good. One of the nice things about this collar is that it has these grab rails, so I'm able to tie off my dock lines to it. Definitely cool having different accessory points, attachment points. Obviously you can use this if you're trying to recover, rescue somebody, or if you need to climb in or anything like that. But yeah, very cool, love it. Okay, shall we? Beep, beep, beep. Adam is reversing. That's my anti-porpoising carving technique. Just gotta keep going left, right, keep it banked over. And it's a lot of fun. So the part of the river that Joey wants to meet me on is actually back here. I went too far. And so yeah, we're going to try and get the ski up and out of the water. Obviously the sponsons are on the rear, and there's a whole lot of weight on this thing, so it may be that I have to pull stuff off just to make it easier to get it up, but I might also just be able to beach it, so we'll soon find out. And Joey is on his way right now, and I'm crossing all my fingers and all my toes that this solves that porpoising issue, because like you can see, at 27 miles an hour, it's absolutely fine. No issues whatsoever. This is how it should be riding at full speed. So I also feel like it's slowly unlocking some power too. Before, when I was getting on full throttle in normal and in sport mode, it felt like eco mode. But now, since I've done an ignition cycle, it seems better. So I think as the day goes on, I'm going to get more and more power. Oh, and we're up. Not sure if we're getting back in, but we're up. So yeah, she's out of the water, and this is what we've got to adjust. So basically we've got to undo these and then drop it down to this top slot. So we're trying to push the sponson as low in the water as we can get it. Oh, and if you're this kind of person that comes down and does this, I want you to take a really long walk into there with rocks in your pockets, because this is absolutely f***ing disgusting. I just can't get my head around what would make somebody come down here, go, what a beautiful place to sit and have a campfire and hang out, and then leave all of your shit behind. Broken glass bottles, I mean, just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. I don't have any trash bags. Well, I have one trash bag for my trash for when I go camping later. Maybe Joey will have something, but if not, I'm gonna drop a pin and I will come back here and tidy that up, because that is just an absolute fucking disgrace. Why are humans such assholes sometimes? So while we wait for Joey, I figured take a look at what the Starlink is looking like. So this is the one it's been powered from. 100% battery. So the ski has charged this up to 100%. So now it's powering the Starlink off of battery power, but clearly as we're riding, it's keeping it fully charged. So the nice thing is as well about having these two battery packs is that it means that when I get to wherever I'm going, obviously I've got one to power the Starlink, but I have one that I can use for charging my phone or, you know, anything else that I need. And also just having that redundancy is good safety, because, say it with me, if some is good, more is better. This is definitely eating into my riding time though. We're at 1 hour so far, so we've got 9 to go. We're probably at like 1.5 hours. But yeah, it's always an adventure, like I say. Look who it is, we made it. See, as if you were ever worried about this thing. So this is not the place where Joey dropped the pin for me to meet him, but I saw it and I was like, oh, it's cool, it's flat, it's easy. And then he's like, dude, it's super sandy getting there. And then I looked at this and I was like, uh-oh. But look, dude.
We gotta get a running start. We'll
What's up, buddy?
How's it
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. What's happening?
Here is the beast.
Man.
Yeah.
That's sweet, dude.
I think we need 1 Allen wrench, that's it.
Cool.
You're gonna open this, there's gonna be 1 Allen wrench.
No.
I think this should be fine. Do you like my 1920s golfer look? These are waterproof socks that I'm testing out, and they seem to be waterproof.
That's pretty cool.
But the trousers are not waterproof, so that's why I'm rocking this look. Let me pull these down then, I don't want to be embarrassed in front of all you fans. I gotta look cool.
Yo, what's up everybody? So we made it down here on the river. We're here to help out my buddy Adam Swords. He's been on the podcast before. We're doing a little mod to his new Sea-Doo. This is a first look. Nobody's seen this Sea-Doo yet.
Here you can see, here's our adjustability on the main plate, and then this is the end plate that sits on there. And mine was mounted to the second, if you see the second hole there, which puts the plate somewhere around there. Now I have one hole of adjustability, which brings it down probably 1/4 of an inch, which realistically, for the porpoising we're getting, probably isn't going to be enough. But you can undo these bolts, you can take it off the hull, and then you can put it in the top, which is going to bring it down probably another 3/4 of an inch, and then I can adjust this down so I can basically have it in its most aggressive, and that should, because of the flotation we're getting from these, give us what we're looking for. Because I think the problem is these are actually dragging in the water, because if you think when we're riding in the water level is more like this because the back end dips down, and so it's lifting the back end of the ski, which is then causing that issue. So if we can push these all the way down, we should get a little bit more purchase. There we have it, one side down. So as you can see, it sits way lower, this part especially, and that's what we want. We want that water to hook up underneath here and then get channeled down. So we've just got to flip her over to the other side. Well, there we are, an hour, 40 minutes later. Hopefully that fixes our porpoising issues. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be quite a miserable 10 hours until we can figure it out. Dude, lifesaver.
Dude, no problem, no problem.
Go give this guy a follow.
He's a good dude.
He is.
Gotta take care of our people.
He has helped me no end on this trip. So I'll put all of Joey's stuff in the description. I'm going to go back on the podcast soon, have a chat. We were saying, actually, he just did a live, and we were saying how on the last podcast that I went on, we started talking about aliens.
Yeah.
About how there's some crazy stuff out here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, since then, we now know aliens exist.
Yep.
It's like, they're talking about interviewing them on Joe Rogan. So
yeah, we'll talk more about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And check out my wife's new company. It's aoadventure.com and Anderson Overland Podcast.
there you go. I'll put everything
guys.
right here. All right,
Cool.
let's see if this has fixed it. All right, everybody, cross all of your fingers and toes that has solved our issues. Let's just make sure Joey gets it out of this soft bit. He's going with speed and power. Yeah, no problem. Never doubted you for a minute. Cool, all right. Let's see. Oh, we're flying! Look at that! Yoo-hoo-hoo! Oh man! Yes, we are good.
A few moments later.
No, don't start that. No reason for that. We were good. Why? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. All right, I'm just gonna ride it for a little bit, see what happens, and I'll report back. Genuinely baffled. I don't understand. It was riding perfect. You saw it was like glass, and then for whatever reason just started to porpoise again. We might not be able to do this because I can ride at 29 miles an hour, and then as you can see, that's when it starts. Man, this is frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Wasting an hour and 40 minutes trying to fix it, to not fix it. Okay, so real talk, I was gonna go all the way up to Laughlin, as you guys know. But given the fact that anything above 25 miles an hour just becomes miserable, I'm not gonna wanna go all the way up there, turn around and come all the way back. I'm not sure that realistically I'm gonna be able to get this 10 hours done, which is really annoying. I've done 2 hours, so I'm 20% of the way towards my goal, but we are still gonna camp. So I think probably what I'll do, it's 2 o'clock, so if I start to cruise back down there, I might stop off at Pirate Cove on the way back, and then yeah, we'll go find ourselves a little campsite. So at least we'll still get an adventure. We're just not gonna do the full 10 hours because clearly the ski needs a little bit more work for that, which is fine. Can't lie, I'm disappointed. It's still a beautiful day to be out on the river, but just wish it was riding like glass because everything else is absolutely awesome. Anyway, big smile, positive outlook on things. Look at that absolute beauty of a home. They've got their own like beach club down here. All right, so something strange just happened. I just got a speed unlock, so we're doing 55 miles an hour, which is wild considering I've got this intake rate on, and we're not porpoising. So wide open, we're good. It's just that slow speed, which still doesn't solve our issue because I can't ride it wide open the whole time, because obviously I'm still trying to brake in the motor. See, as soon as I start to slow down, it starts porpoising again.
I'm sorry, Wilson! Wilson, I'm sorry!
Wilson? Wilson! It's you! Come here. Uh-oh. He's a squirter. Glow City Basketball. Cool! Now we made it to Pirate Cove. There is nobody around. That's honestly one of the nicest things about riding this time of the year, is you literally have the place to yourself. Gonna go in, grab a little refreshment, and then we'll get on our way. Absolutely jam-packed in here. In the summer, this place is absolutely mental. We actually came here for lunch on the Sea-Doo Centres ride when we did our end of summer ride. It was a lot of fun. We filled up the whole bay full of Sea-Doos. It was a good time. But yeah, I'm just stopping in here for a quick soda water and lime, and then we'll get on our way. We'll go and find ourselves a campsite. I want to go all the way south on the lake. There's a few cool ones down by Havasu Springs that I've seen a couple of times. I want to go and check those out. The water level is crazy low as well. So like that water taxi over there, the water is usually up to the bottom of the gazebo. So you can see just how low it is. Well, the fact that this is no longer floating shows you how low it is. Ew, I don't know what that is. Gross. Well, at least my ski's still floating. Taking a little cruisy cruise through the channel, find ourselves a nice little camp spot and set up for the night. My toes are ice cold. I'm testing out these new waterproof socks and they are great. They are super waterproof, but because I had to go through some deep water earlier, unfortunately some got inside, and now I've got like 2 little swimming pools in there that obviously aren't draining, so my toes are ice cold. So I can't wait to get these socks off and get some heat back into me, because it's nippy. It's low 50s right now. What's it say it is? 50, water temperature is 55 here in the channel, but it is only a foot deep. And we're about to get run over by this big bugger. Like I said, the water level's super low, so I had to pull over for them. Usually I don't have to, but pulled over to let them through, and they all got up and had a good old gander. Like, what the hell is that? What's he got on the front? I am so made up with how good this thing looks. I stopped off for a little photo shoot back in the gorge, and oh my goodness, it just looks incredible. So super stoked with how that's turned out. I know I keep banging on about it, but once we get this porpoising issue dialed in, this is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm getting so excited for all of the adventure riding that we can do with this thing. So here's a great example of the AIS. So here's me obviously in the middle, pointing this way, and over here to my starboard side, there's a boat that has their AIS on. Now, it's over there, it's in the marina. There is this boat right ahead of me, but that's obviously directly in front and it's not reporting, so he doesn't have an AIS system. So somebody in the marina must have a boat with an AIS and it's switched on right now. And I can actually go and I can click on the boat and I can see the details. So it's called Flips Ahoy. It's a Class B. Shows me all their info, which is kind of cool. Obviously lakes are a different beast, but certainly on the ocean, really, really good to know where all the other boats are. So once I get out of this no wake, I am gonna do a little test. I'm gonna deflate this collar so I can take all the air out of it. It still stays attached. And then I'm gonna do a run and I'm gonna see if it still bounces. Because if it does bounce with the collar deflated, then obviously it's not the collar causing the issue. And if it doesn't bounce with the collar deflated, we know it's the collar. So rather than have to worry about changing sponsons and the intake grate and all that stuff, let's see if it is in fact the collar first. And if it is, then we can figure out how to fix it. As you can see, she's gone limp. So let's see. Has that changed anything? Well, I guess that answers that. Not the collar causing the issue. Could it be the intake grate? I've never ridden with this intake grate before, so that would honestly be my next thing that I would check, because the sponsons aren't likely going to be causing that issue, given the fact that they're made for this hull and they're on multiple other skis like this, and it was doing it in both positions. So yeah, maybe it is that intake grate. Honestly, I'm really glad it's not the collar, because I love it and it's such a great addition to the ski, and I was going to be really pissed off if I had to mess around trying to kind of get it dialed in with other mods just to make the collar work, but clearly that isn't the problem. So I run about 3 psi in the collar. That seems to be about right. There is actually a blow-off valve the other side, so if you run too much pressure, that thing starts releasing. And I've found that 3 psi is right where that thing doesn't start releasing, and it's where the collar is nice and firm. All right, we're reading 3. Perfect. Easy as that. So this is it. This is the one that I've always fancied camping at. Like I say, there's normally a big houseboat in here. Looks like someone's already got a little fire circle there, and this is nice and soft, so don't mind beaching the ski. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, this isn't too bad at all. Looks like someone's already had a campfire, but there's plenty of dry, rotted wood that I can grab. Probably make myself a little mini campfire. Let's go and have a look up here, go and see what this one's like. I'd still have to leave the ski here, obviously. Actually, there's a post there, so I could tie off to that if I needed to. But look at that for a view, though. And the nice thing about this time of the year is that you don't tend to get too many boats, so you don't have to worry. What is that? Something off of a Sapphire Stingray? What is this? Anyone know what this is? Yeah, like I was saying, you don't get too many boats, so you don't have to worry about the wake absolutely smashing your boat into the rocks. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of cool up here, but realistically, that little spot down there is nice, so I think we'll probably set up down there. And we've also got a toilet as well, which is nice. So do you know what? Just for completeness, before I put my tent up, I am going to dump the fuel into the tank. So we're going to have no extra weight on the back, literally no weight here. This has just got an anchor in it, which doesn't weigh anything. I'm going to go back out and try it again and see what happens. So I've taken to using a funnel now and just pouring this in, because I have searched long and hard for a decent replacement nozzle for these cans. They come with that stupid one where you have to push it in. It's impossible to use. So I always replace all of my nozzles and then put this vent on here, but all of the nozzles end up leaking. So I now just use a funnel and it's way easier. Ta-da! See, minimal mess. Little tiny spillage right there, but nothing crazy. Placey bets, is the weight reduction gonna stop the porpoising, or is it that intake grate? My money is on the intake grate. All right, let's see. Still doing it. Not as bad, but it's still doing it. Okay, good, good. 40 miles an hour, yeah, see? Yes! last test we can, oh geez, there's no back seat. The last test we can do is blow all the air out of the tube again. And then that way we've gotten rid of all the weight and we've gotten rid of all the air out of the tube. So we know that it's not going to be either of those. And if it still does it, my money's on intake grate. Ta-da! Yeah, that 35 mile an hour. Okay, good. Excuse me, duckies. Mind if I come stay tonight? Hell yeah. Sick. As much as it sucks that it isn't working right, I'm glad that we've been able to kind of go through all of that and figure it out. I bet you if I change out that intake grate, we'll be good to go. Now, it does suck because I do want an intake grate with more bars, but this one, I believe, is a new one from Iron Arrow. That really makes me feel better. I've gone this far with the stock intake grate, so worst case scenario, if I have to run one, then, you know, it is what it is. But I'm sure we can figure it out. It would be nice just to have that extra protection. Well, I guess I don't need those. Oh wow, it's so much brighter than I thought. Camp, setup, time, thingy, and then we can just chill. I can take these bloody shoes off because my feet are soaking wet and freezing cold. Just in time for the sunset. I'm actually trying a new camping setup. So I just got this, which is an extra thick inflatable mattress, sleeping pad, whatever you want to call it. It's not that much bigger than the one that I had before, but it's like twice as thick. And what I found, because I'm a side sleeper, when I sleep on these cot beds with the little thin blow up mats, I tend to get like hot spots on my hip, my shoulder, where it's pushing in, and obviously just with the weight of me, it just gets uncomfortable and I keep swapping sides and I can't sleep on my back. If I could sleep on my back, this setup, even without this, just with the cot, would be so nice, but unfortunately I cannot. So I got this, so we'll give that a whirl tonight. I did lay on it at the house, I blew it up and lay on it at the house. It did seem pretty comfy, and then with the additional springiness that you get from the cot bed, this might be a game changer. I also got a double wide, well not double, but an extra wide sleeping bag. If you've ever slept in one of those like mummy sleeping bags, you'll know that once you're in there, you are in there, and they're great for really cold weather. But tonight it's going to drop down to probably 48-ish, and I've got my hoodie, I've got my joggers with me, so I'm not going to get that cold, especially in the sleeping bag. Being able to like freely turn inside of the bag rather than having to like hotch around is definitely going to be nice. Anyway, as Steve Wallace from Camping with Steve would say, it is time for a step 2, because we're officially done with the Sea-Doo. The sun has gone down. We're going to get the anchor out, throw the anchor in, so that's not going to go anywhere tonight. We are done riding, which means that I can have a beer. It's really dark now, so I apologize, you guys probably can't see anything, but let's have a look and see what the battery bank that has been powering the Starlink is saying. 87%. That's sick. And then this one over here will still be at 100 because I've obviously not been using it. And that's because it's been sat here for the last, what, hour now without being turned on. So it's just powering my internet. I'm not even going to take it off the ski tonight. I'm going to leave it there. It will easily reach camp. No problem whatsoever. So yeah, super chuffed with how that's working out. Nectar of the Mexican gods. Have a little seat in my little seat. Oh, beautiful. It wasn't the uneventful day that I had hoped for, but it basically never is. But it was a lot of fun, and I think we have problem solved the issue. So I'm going to say cheers to that. And if you have a beer, then take a big old slurp right now. Heaven. That's my view. One of the things I love the most about camping is just the peace and quiet. I mean, there is not a breath of wind right now. No sound, no waves, no nothing. It is just perfect. It's now 10:05. I was just literally on the phone with Amanda for the last like 2.5 hours, having a nice little chat, just enjoying my beer, watching, well, nothing now, it's dark, but yeah, I've kind of missed my dinner slot, and I did bring some leftover curry with me and some naan bread, but I don't know if I can be bothered to cook it now. You know when you kind of get hungry and then it goes past, and so now I'm not really that hungry, but what I do have, and this is pretty wild when I show you this is literally half of the burrito that I had this morning. We go to a place called Chico's Tacos, and they do the most amazing breakfast burritos, but they are massive. This is the second half of it. So it's cold, but it's only egg and potato and cheese, so it should be fine to eat cold. I'm gonna see if this does the job, and if it does, then this will be dinner, and if it doesn't, then I might get the stove out and heat up this curry. But I mean, that is just, look at the size of it. That is just ridiculous that this is half of my burrito from this morning. It's honestly still pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna eat this. Talk to you in a bit. So I don't know if you could hear that, but there was 2 massive explosions over to my right, which is BLM land. So it was probably people either firing a high caliber rifle. I don't know if you heard that, but it just did it again. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, a lot of you guys down in the comments after last week's video with the watches, you guys were asking for me to show my, how do I say this? Pew-pews. That's where you have to do it without getting demonetized on YouTube. I can't do it on this channel because obviously YouTube doesn't like that stuff. It allows it, but it massively demonetizes channels and reduces visibility and all the rest of it. And so obviously I've worked really hard on this channel to keep it PG-13 and get it to the point that it's at, so I don't want to ruin that just by showcasing those. However, I do have a second channel that I've not done anything with for a long time called Adam Sword's Rough Cuts. Now, I basically created that channel just to throw stuff up that wasn't worth a full episode, but was worth making a video about. I could potentially use that channel as a place to show that kind of content. So what I was thinking is, there are some trips where like, I'll go out and in the middle of it, I'll go and do what they were doing, but I can't show it on YouTube. So I just cut it out the video and you guys would never know. But maybe what I do is I throw it to the Rough Cuts channel, and then I just say something like, hey guys, if you want to see what I'm doing next, go over to the Rough Cuts channel. And then I put it in there, and then that way you can kind of like hop back. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. So I'd happily shoot content about it, but I just got to put it somewhere else. That's all. All right. Well, I'm all tucked up in bed. Got my PJs on. I'll tell you what, it's definitely a bit of a faff getting all of your gear and stuff. I mean, like when you think about how much stuff I've bought with me on a trip like this, it always takes me a day or so beforehand to prep and pack and get everything set. But once you're out here, I do love it. It's just so peaceful and like such a great reset from day to day, because I'm actually going to ride snowmobiles next weekend. So I think the next episode that you guys watch will probably be a snowmobiling episode, which I've never done before. And I hear that it's completely different to riding a Sea-Doo. It's literally like the opposite. You have to turn a different way to like get it to lean. So if you want to go left, you turn right. I have no idea, but I'm very excited about it. I'm actually going with Ryan from Extreme Arizona, who, if you watched my Can-Am camping video from a few weeks ago, he owns Extreme Arizona, and it's his birthday, so he invited me to go out there and go ride snowmobiles with him. So that should be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna get some sleep, and I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning, make some breakfast and plan what we're gonna do for the day. Okay, good night. You guys hear that? Sounds like there's an aeroplane doing loop-de-loops in the sky, because it'll go, and then all of a sudden it'll go. Look, he's doing it again. Very odd. Well, the Sea-Doo made it, so that's good. And so did Wilson. All right, cup of tea time. Ta-da! This is mushroom powder, so I've been adding this to my tea in the mornings. It's good for your brain. Yeah, that's hot. So yeah, enjoy my little cup of tea, which I think is going to be too hot to drink. Oh yeah, I was correct. Oh, yeah, we'll let that cool down for a little bit. Enjoying my view. We were forecast some rain this morning, and definitely looks very overcast. Not sure what time that's going to come through, but yeah, just going to have my cup of tea, then we'll make some brekkie, and then we'll probably pack up and go home. I was thinking about how much riding I want to do today. I'll go and check how many hours are on. Blah. Wow, why do I sound Irish? Go and check how many hours are on the ski. Go and check how many hours are on the ski. I think I did 3, potentially 4 hours yesterday, which isn't bad, all things considered. I was hoping that I would get 5 or 6, and then that way today we would only have to do 5 or 6 to get it fully broken in. But with that suspected intake grate issue, what I'd rather do is get it back home, swap the intake grate, and then potentially bring it out again tomorrow and figure out if that was the problem. I'm just gonna take it easy this morning. Like I say, we'll make some brekkie in a little bit, and then cruise on back to the truck, get it loaded up, and see if we can't fix this problem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and you undecided folk, it is time. Cooking with Adam. On the menu this morning, a breakfast burrito with egg, potatoes, and cheese. I got these fancy new pans that have like a handle that just goes on outlet, which is pretty cool. You need fire, number 1. Olive oil. Oh yeah. Shout out Canyon Coolers. They are the coolers that I use for all of my adventures. If you're interested, you can go and grab one from the link below. This thing is like $80. Honestly, if you do trips like this, it's one of the best $80 you'll ever spend, because it keeps ice nice and cool, keeps all of your stuff nice, and it takes up very little room, which is awesome. Ooh, that's cold in there. Some hot sauce, some... Oh! Well, now I've got no potatoes! Oh! That's annoying. Stupid pots with stupid handles. Okay, never mind. As I was saying, eggs, sour cream, queso. Oh, actually, I've got cottage cheese in here as well, I forgot about. Nice. It's also a cool little find. Got in Walmart, I think. It's got like all the different spices in it. Bit of garlic salt, bit of cayenne. Go on then. Paprika? Yeah, why not? Let's take it to Flavor Town, baby. Oh, these pots are so nice. So, if you watched my Can-Am camping video, then you will have seen that I was struggling with some incredibly cheap stainless steel. Well, stainless steel, I'm not sure they were, pans. Awful. So I decided that, given that I'm not like massively affected by weight on these trips, I mean to a certain extent, but some extra pots and pans that are nice and good quality, definitely worth the trade-off of the additional weight. It's not like I'm backpacking, is what I'm saying. I found these, they're relatively cheap. They all stack inside of each other, so they save a lot of space. And they're like non-stick. And that, honestly, when you're camping, is huge. Because when you've got all shit stuck to the pans and then you're trying to clean it out with like this much water, it's a nightmare. So these work absolutely awesome. They're like, they're not cast iron, but they're something similar. And they work great, so definitely worth the trade-off, like I say, of the extra weight. For sure. Okay, you guys do your thing. I'm gonna have a liquid IV. Another little life hack with liquid IVs and these electrolyte drinks, which are really important to take, especially when you're like me and you forget to drink all day yesterday. I never put them in my main water bottle because for some reason, I carry, obviously this is a massive one, but I carry these insulated bottles around with me all the time. If you put this in one of those, I don't know why, but the flavor stays in the bottle, even after you put them through the dishwasher and everything else. Not sure why, but it does. And so because I typically just put ice water in those, maybe sometimes I'll throw in like some actual lime, but that doesn't seem to make a difference. So whenever I'm carrying electrolytes, I always bring a separate bottle that I can decant into, and then that way, something like this, for some reason the flavor doesn't stick to. So, just some life hacks with Adam. Ooh, I feel so hydrated and electrolyt. We're looking little tatties. Now, I forgot to bring a cheese grater, so... Oh, look at that! Cooking with Adam! Look at that, perfectly sliced with a plastic fork. No, that's a knife. I do love the simplicity of camp cooking as well. Not like camp cooking, but like camp cooking. Camping cooking. Camp camping. Do you know what? I'm gonna get one of my camp friends to come on here and we'll do camp camping. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. 1 egg. 2 eggs and a little bit of eggshell. 3 eggs and some more eggshell. Beautiful. Look at that. Delicious. Cheese. I'm sure there's all kinds of chemicals leaching into my food, but at least it doesn't stick. Sour cream. Now, I know this doesn't look that amazing, but it's the beauty of camping cooking, is that it has to be easy and tasty. And that, my friends, is going to be delicious. Cheers. So good. Look at this. What a way to live. Look at that Explorer. It just looks so good. Like, I've added a lot of crap on that, and it could have looked stupid, but it doesn't. It just looks badass. It is the ultimate adventure Sea-Doo. Like I said in the beginning, let me know in the comments if you can think of anything else that I could add to it. Because realistically, for what I do, I've answered all of my needs other than the extended range fuel tank. That would literally be the only thing that I could think to add. Yeah, I love it. Stoked. One of the things that I forgot to do last night was turn off the Starlink. So we will have drained that one battery. So this guy should be toast. Yep, 0%. But that's why we have a backup. Oh, these also have this little pop-up light as well, which is kind of cool. Excuse my cable management here. Now that I've added this second one, I've got this splitter, so it just adds an extra cable in there. And then we plug into this one, which is at 100%. And now we've got space internet again. And then as I get driving, obviously this one is basically fully charged, so it'll just charge this one up. Oh, and here's my little waterproof plug. So when the case isn't on, I plug this into the cable that goes into the ski and it waterproofs it. I just put some silicone on the back here as well. So I just keep that in there. And then this is my old Zoleo. So this is my backup satellite text message box. Again, you pay like a $15 or $20 a month subscription to this, and it allows me to use satellites to send text messages. This is really good for like camping and backpacking and stuff. Obviously this is big and bulky, so if I just needed to have contact with people but I didn't want Starlink, then this is great because you can just clip it on your bag. It's kind of like the Garmin InReach is the other one. This is just a slightly cheaper version, but it does basically the same thing. You just have to message from your phone rather than the InReach, which I think you can text from the device itself. But super handy to have something like that on trips like this, just in case. So it looks like we may have missed this rain. The wind's been picking up, but I haven't even seen any spots of rain. Doesn't even look like there's any on the horizon. So I think we're pretty good. So I'm just gonna pack up camp now, get it all loaded back up on the ski, and then we'll head back north and get back to the truck. But this has been great. It's been a lot of fun. Every time I come camping, I realize how much I love it, and just the freedom and just being, you know, out here in the middle of nowhere, which technically isn't the middle of nowhere. You know, like if you go about 10 minutes that way, then you'll end up in town. It's just really nice to have the ability to do this kind of thing so close to my house. So you can see over there where last night you can see those twinkly lights. That is the island in Havasu. So we're right here. Yeah, feel like I'm all by myself, which is just how I like it. Well, not now I've got Amanda. Now it's nice to have her around as well. But you know what I'm saying. It's nice just to be away from people, in nature. Just me and the little duckies and the little bird that's eating my leftover potatoes. Yeah, a lot of fun. Love it. And there we go, a clear campsite. I'm in my Ted Bundy's right now, so I'm going to keep this as a waist up shot because I don't want to get my feet wet and my trousers wet to get back on the ski. So I'm just braving the cold. It actually feels pretty good. If I had brought a towel with me, which I forgot, then I would have liked to have gone in for a bit of a polar plunge this morning. Well, it's like 50, 52 degrees, so it's not that cold, but that would have really woken me up. But I didn't bring a towel, so I'm not feeling that brave to drip dry out here in the buff because there's boats coming by now and nobody wants to see that, apart from people that subscribe to my... Anyway, so the last thing left to do is to do my fee. So it's a $10 overnight fee, and that money just goes to BLM and helps them to maintain places like this, keep them nice, and you know, do things like take out the rubbish, stuff like that. So it's well worth it. I know, that's really spiky. I know the temptation is to come here and if nobody comes by, just camp for free, but it helps everybody out. So if you do come and camp, then pay your fees, you know, be an honest person. So I'm gonna fill this out and drop it in the slot. There we go. Alrighty, let's GTFO. Oh, also, I'm gonna leave Wilson here because if any of you guys come here, I want you to take a selfie with Wilson and send it to me. Let's put him up here and let's see how long he lasts. Take a selfie with him, tag me on Instagram, hashtag Wilson, hashtag Pilot Rock, hashtag YOLO, hashtag basketball, hashtag selfie, hashtag Lake Havasu, hashtag Lake Havasu City, hashtag vacay vibes, hashtag I'm on a beach, hashtag boat life, hashtag I should probably put some pants on. Okie dokie. Shall we? It's looking very moody now, and ahead of me I think I can see rain. The mountains are slowly disappearing, so we might just be in time. We may get caught a little bit, but it's looking pretty bleak up there. We made it. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna go park in the little dock area over here because otherwise it's gonna get blown around. I really wish that State Park would clean all this up because it's perfect for skis. But look, it's just full of crap. Well, there we go, safely back to the dock. What an absolutely epic first adventure out. Obviously we've got some things that we need to figure out, but realistically there isn't actually that much that needs sorting. I think that intake grate is going to fix the issue, and hopefully if it does, then we'll be back out in no time at all on some big adventures and stuff. This thing is just everything that I hoped it would be and more, honestly. Love camping as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and trust me, there's going to be more like this. So if you're new here, if this is your first visit to the channel, then go back and watch all of my other Sea-Doo adventure videos. I've done a ton of really cool stuff over the years. There's a lot of stuff from the early days where you know, I didn't have as many subscribers, that I did some really cool stuff. So make sure you go back, check out. There is a Sea-Doo adventures playlist, and you should definitely go and watch some of those videos if you've enjoyed this one. And like I said, there will be a lot more of these to come. I've also obviously got the Can-Am, got the RS6. There's a lot of fun toys that I have to create content with now, and trust me, I'll be doing just that. So subscribe, like, share this with your friends. Let me know in the comments below, what should I add? What do you like? What's your favorite part? What on this do you think is dumb? Do you think my radio is dumb? Do you think my Starlink is dumb? Just let me know. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. I think it's all badass. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Be good people, make good choices, but most importantly, remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. See ya.